Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to dive into a critical topic that's been in the headlines recently, and it's about the rescues of thousands of children in the United States in 2025. And so you may have heard some staggering numbers floating around, like 5,500 kids have been saved, but what's the real story? So what I've done is I've done some research, and I'm here to break down the verified operations, the numbers, and what they all mean. This is heavy, but it's important, so stick with me, and if you find this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe and stay informed. So let's dive into it. So child trafficking and exploitation are heartbreaking realities here in 2025. And law enforcement agencies like the U.S. Marshal Service, the FBI, and ICE have stepped up in a really, really big way. From targeted raids to massive operations, they've been working to bring kids home. I've compiled a list of every documented rescue operation this year up to October 21st of 2025, and the numbers are both shocking and inspiring. So let's walk through these major efforts and see how many children are actually saved. Here's what we know. From official reports in 2025, multiple operations across the U.S. rescued children from trafficking, exploitation, and dangerous situations. So let's go through them one by one. We have first, an operation called Operation Restore Justice, and in May of 2025, nationwide, the FBI led this crackdown, rescuing 115 children from sexual abuse and exploitation. Then we have Operation Dragon Eye, which took place in June of 2025 in the middle of Florida. And the U.S. Marshals Service recovered 60 critically missing kids, the largest child recovery op of all time. Then we have the DHS raids in California, which took place in July of 2025. This raid was of 14 migrant children who were saved from forced labor and potential trafficking at an illegal marijuana growing site. Then we have the ICE human trafficking ring bust in August of 2025 in Nebraska, where 10 kids were among 27 victims freed from a trafficking network. Then further on, we have Operation No Saints and Sinners and Fresh Start, which went from May to August of 2025 in New Orleans. And here, 15 missing or endangered children were brought to safety. And then we have the Northern Florida operation, which took place in September of 2025. And in this operation, 25 kids were recovered in just 3 days. Then we have Operation Global Impact in 2025, which took place in September, where 24 children were saved from sexual exploitation by Operation Underground Railroad. And I've been a long supporter of this Operation Underground Railroad team and their efforts. They have done amazing work for a near decade now. And if you haven't looked into them, I encourage you to do so. Help fund their operations. They are a non-profit organization, and all their proceeds go to rescue operations of these sexually exploited children and women. And then lastly here we have Operation Lightning Bug, which took place from July to October of 2025 in Texas, where over 30 missing kids were recovered in a trafficking crackdown. On top of this, we have smaller efforts in places like Cleveland and Chicago, where 5 kids were saved from targeted recoveries, and 1 abducted child was rescued in Alabama with the help from Mexican authorities. But here's the big one. So during a congressional hearing in July of 2025, Representative Clay Higgins revealed that DHS and ICE rescued 35,000 tender-age children. Most of them were young girls, and they were rescued from trafficking and exploitation, all tied to unaccompanied migrant children lost under prior administrations. This number is massive, and it comes from a classified operation. So the details here are limited, but it shows the scale of the crisis that we have in America in regard to sex trafficking, especially of children and of young women under the age of 18. So if you take a look at this chart, which is going to be shown here briefly, you'll see the rescue operations that I've gone through, And then you can see the massive impact of the DHS ICE efforts from that one single rescue that was brought to Congress back in July of 2025. So now that we have all these operations listed, including the ICE rescue mission of 35,000, what is the total? So adding it all up, we have at least 35,299 children rescued in 2025. And that is a staggering number. But it's not the whole story. The 35,000 from the DHS ICE migrants effort dominates it. But every operation, from the one child in Alabama to the 115 in the restored justice operation, represents a life that has changed forever. These kids were saved from unimaginable situations, and the agencies that I've brought up are still working to find more. But this also highlights a bigger issue. It highlights the systemic failures that have let thousands of kids slip through the cracks in the first place. So we, as American citizens, need to stay vigilant and hold our administrations accountable for these atrocities that are occurring. Whether it's at the local level or the federal level, we need to be vigilant in this matter and demand accountability. So if you want to highlight this effort from these organizations, from the DHS, or from the FBI, from the Marshal Service, from the DHS, from ICE, please share this video and spread the word about these incredible efforts that are still in the works, actually. And if you want to dive deeper into this matter, go check out the official sources, like the U.S. Marshal Service, like DHS, like the FBI website, and they should be providing updates as they become available. So I really just wanted to highlight this because there's been, a lot of criticism on the Trump administration, especially when it comes in regard to the Epstein files, on how Trump and his administration are just a group of pedophiles and have no regard for children. But clearly this isn't true. If Trump and his administration have saved nearly 36,000 children, that is an insane number, and it just goes to show how much this administration does care about children, whether they're legal or illegal. So I thought this was worth highlighting. If you want to know, like I said, learn more, go to the U.S. Marshal Service website or DHS or FBI, and they'll give you those updates. In the meantime, I thank you guys for coming and viewing this channel and checking out this video. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you guys think about these operations, and what is your opinion on what's going on and how previous administrations have let all these children go through the cracks? And are you starting to question not just our federal government on these issues, but are you also questioning your local governments and your state governments? And I think you should be. But yeah, if you like this video, if you like this content, please drop me a like and subscribe. I wish you all a very blessed day. Thank you for your attention in this matter. God bless.